All right, everybody. I want to give a quick shout out to CT Raceworks. CT Raceworks makes the baddest parts in the industry, including the parts that Kyle Chaney uses to win the 2025 King of the Hammers 4400 race. Now, if you would like to use those same parts, feel free to go over to CT Raceworks and use the Our Day Off discount code, and that will get you a 5% discount on your entire order at any time. So that's Our Day Off discount code upon checkout. Back to the show. All right, this is an unfortunate turn of events, really. I was hoping to see you guys up on the top of the box, or at least on the box today. Would have been an awesome day here at King of the Hammers for the 20th year. But everybody's been talking about the course out there, how brutal it is this year, especially lap 3. And unfortunately, we have Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Jeremy Dickenson here early, which is not what we want to see. What happened, boys?
Yeah, well, it's kind of the story of probably going to be another 100 competitors today. It was going great till it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were ripping, and we were up in fourth, 5 minutes from first, and got into the rocks at lap 2. Things were going good. Got in the traffic jam at Jack, and at some point lost front right drive. And we were, doing the best we could. Jeremy's up in Jack, helping everyone get out and make way. And then we lost our winch somewhere. And, coming down, what was that? Jack, we were coming down? What was that?
Bender Alley. Bender Alley and then Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, so coming down.
Or not, yeah, Wrecking Ball, yep.
Coming down there, we got to the bottom and started thinking about what we had to go hit. And without a winch, we were just going to become a trail plug.
Yeah.
And, we were just saying to each other, Mom and Dad didn't raise no quitter. I've never quit this race ever. No. My 10 years of doing it. And today we made the, I guess, responsible decision to call it. So, we didn't end up ruining other people's day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you had to make that decision. And it just shows it shows your competitive side is still there to want to keep going, right? I mean, you'd never want to walk away. You never want to quit. But here at King of the Hammers, you're not making it anywhere with two things, 4-wheel drive and a winch.
Right.
And you lost both of those things.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what else choice did you have? Because you still had a chance to make it to pit 2, but even to make it to pit 2, you had some gnarly trails to get through.
Yeah, I mean, we were almost maybe halfway?
You were 3 trails into like 7.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like.
Wild times.
It's unfortunate, but it is a brutal race. And, I felt, we felt more prepared than ever. Our entire RTR vehicles off-road team has been working so hard all week. We did 2 other races this week, too. We did the stock class and the Bronco Raptor in the desert race, 4,600 yesterday, and, 2 second place. And we were hoping to break that that second place this weekend.
Tired of being the
but
first.
So we broke something else, evidently.
Well, I mean, you guys were running good. You were right inside the top. You were in top 3 at one point, weren't you? Yeah, you were right inside. We kind of been watching the TVs here in the media tent and seeing where everybody's stacking up. So you're not the only ones to be out right now.
Yeah.
Shear was broke.
Shear's out.
Flipped.
Campbell's out.
There's been some
transmission.
There's been some absolute carnage out there on course already, taking out some of the top names. And we were saying this morning when you guys were lining up on start grid, if you looked at that start grid and just started looking at the cars all the way back to the back, there's top hitters all the way through the field. So it's literally anybody's game. And so you've just got to have the perfect day. You've got to pick your lines right, make sure you don't break the car, clearly don't burn the winch up. But that's racing. That's racing. And if you're not out there pushing the car and pushing your stuff to the limits, you're not gonna win.
100%. And that's kind of been my thing. Like I actually have an incredible finishing record at Hammers. From showing up in 2016 to not even knowing how to put the truck in 4 load, and now I've always been great at taking care of the equipment and getting there. In the top 10-ish. But I'm ready to win. We're ready to win this race, and so it requires pushing a bit harder. And, the last couple of years we've been creeping up on it. And this, we felt, was our year. And, the King of Hammers gods had other
scenarios,
other plans for us. And,
that Black Wizard.
But, we're here, and, we're safe and healthy, and the truck's in a half a piece. And so, we're going to go hop in a Raptor and go chase Lauren around the desert.
Good deal. Well, I'm happy that you guys are first and foremost, safe and here back at Hammertown. Got the car back here. It's at least drivable, so you guys can go back to the drawing board, get all that stuff fixed, and be ready for the next shot. I got to ask Jeremy. Jeremy, we've spent a lot of time together traveling and doing all sorts of fun stuff, and we don't really talk about your co-driving too much because you and me, we're just racers. Like we know about it. But for the people who maybe don't know, what's it like getting in the passenger seat with Vaughn?
We always make it a fun, like anytime we're in the Raptor, like desert races, whatever, we all like that little piggy, that progressive piggy, like wee, like we'll start like just getting in a rhythm and we just make jokes the whole time. But to get in a car with Vaughn and a 44 that's just ripping, like the Ford, I mean, it's legit. Like I can like just a smile for days, and we have a good time in the car. We do we get in a really good groove. I beat myself up sometimes if I get out and like make a bad decision or make a bad turn, and he's like, hey man, just breathe, take some water and let's go again. And again, we put the time in, pre-running, lead nav, Damien takes care of us and gets our notes right, and like it's a fun time in the car.
It looks like it's a good time.
Yeah.
You guys seem like you got a good duo going. You've been doing it for a while now, and you have got some time under your belt with working together, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that you've raced other classes, and you're racing a Bronco, basically a stock Bronco, right? I talked to Bailey Cole about it at PRI, and he was kind of explaining how the Broncos have evolved into the race car. Obviously, I'm going to ask a very loaded question here. What's the biggest difference between your race car and a Bronco?
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we know it's big power, big tires. But those stock Broncos you guys are racing are really awesome vehicles.
They're incredible. And, yes, they've got some modified suspension and they got portals on them, upgraded rear axle. But beyond that, stock radiator, stock intercooler, stock motor, stock transmission. This is the 5th year we've run this truck. We wouldn't have had to change the motor, except I rolled it in Sturgis like 4 years ago, and it lost the motor out of the water out or oil out. So we ended up replacing it. But I mean, it has just been an absolute unbelievable machine, and it just goes to show. I mean, for a unibody chassis like that to handle 5 years of King of the Hammers plus all the racing we've done, it is an absolute testament, and Ford, I think it's no news that Ford's, out here to learn and progress and continue to build their products. And, it's an honor to be a part of that team. But to summarize it, you literally go buy a Bronco off the showroom, put the safety in it, bolt the Fox shocks and the portals on it, put a little, we had to put brakes on it because of the portals and things like that. But it's an unbelievable unit. And for a short wheelbase, the way that Fox has got it tuned and the way it goes through the desert, I mean,
2-door or 4-door. I mean, they both rip.
It's so impressive. Have you had a chance to drive a Bronco or a Raptor at all?
No. So I did drive a Bronco at my friends up in Minnesota one time, but it was not off-road. It was just on the road driving a stock Bronco. Very cool vehicle, but I have no off-road experience in the Bronco. Yeah. So I'm all ears.
Yeah, you should experience it, man. And the Raptor, the Raptor family, like, you would be impressed. Everyone that gets in them just can't believe it. How just off the showroom. We were pre-running in bone stock ones in Baja
with 50,000 miles on it.
And our pace was a bit faster than our race pace.
Yes.
It was incredible.
But talking about like the 44 versus the stock, you touched on the other day, like in the stock Bronco, in the desert, 2-door, 4-door, like the driving skills that you have, like you have to be so precise, right? And you can touch more on it. Like the notes are the notes, right? Like I'm calling a little bit more dangers and everything on the stock side. But like in the 44, I think that transitions into the 44 of being so precise on the wheel, of picking up the little small things that we see in the Bronco, just to check up a little, to where like we don't check up in the big car, but he can set the car up the same way in the Bronco or the 44 and run through everything.
Yeah, the stock racing is really fun, but it's like you're like constant like a lion that's kind of like being held back, right? Because they'll go through the stuff, but it only takes one.
Right.
Where the 44 will eat it, and like we might get, like we might feel it, but you hit the wrong one in the stock class vehicle. And so it's made me a really better driver and like helped me just really find like that extra, that additional 5%,
Right.
it's really helped me get there to really like reading the desert and like knowing how to check up and set the car up to be whether it's like loaded before we hit something or unloaded. Like it's been a really cool art to acquire. I really pride myself on being able to keep vehicles together. What happened today,
Hammers happened today.
Yeah. You can talk about your pendulum that you have, like the center of gravity, and like that was a good story.
Yeah.
I think in Baja.
Well, I mean, it seems to me like being able to drive both cars, and you've got one that's extremely underpowered and undertired in comparison to an undershocked compared to the big car. And it gives you that, it's like fine tuning, it gives you that extra little, oh, okay, I have to watch out for that in the small car. But in the big car, you can still see those things and just know that you can push harder.
100%.
You can push harder. So it's interesting that you have both aspects of that and you can kind of learn from both, which is really, really cool to see. I'm bummed that you guys are here. I don't want to take all of your time, and I know you guys got a lot to do, and you guys got to go chase Lauren around, and hopefully he's still moving, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Bummed you guys are up here. Hopefully you guys can get the thing fixed and come back swinging.
There's no question about that, bud.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. I just want to say this too before we jump off. I have been following you and all your RTR stuff and followed your drift career for a long time, and I'm very impressed with what you guys are doing at RTR. Super cool to see. Super cool to see the builds you guys have coming out and what you're doing for the sport on the backside. That's a whole nother podcast, I think, because we've talked to some people about you particularly and RTR and what you guys are doing for the sport on the back end of just racing. I'd love to talk to you about that because I think that's important for people to hear.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it. Hit me up. And I love this, man. This is just who I am. And I enjoy the culture, the community, the fun behind the wheel. And I just want to expose more people to it. And like my overall vision, I'll leave it at this, is like, why I do RTR vehicles and why I am so excited about creating vehicles, whether it's with Ford or ourselves or with Lauren, is like automotive has been such a huge part of my life. And I just want to make sure that there's opportunity for the 5-year-old Vaughn to like get engaged and get inspired. And hopefully it has an impact on people, like at even a percentage of level it has on me, because this is a special thing that we all have going on, and everybody deserves to experience it.
I agree with you. Well said, sir. Jeremy Dickenson, Vaughn Gittin Jr., thank you so much for coming on the podcast and chatting about your day. Again, bummed to see you here, but we live to race another day.
That's it. Rock and roll.
Let's go, boys. Let's get back to the hammers. Thanks for watching our Day Off podcast. We'll see y'all later.
Appreciate it.
Boom.